Hi, I'm Handyman Graham. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a frame for your TV. For those who haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below, and while you're at it, just hit that like button because it helps us with visibility on YouTube's magic algorithm and just gets our videos out there and just allows us to take on larger projects. So for today's DIY, Alexandra has tasked me with making a frame for Sophie's TV. Her TV is just like your run-of-the-mill Samsung, just has like a tiny little black frame around it. We just want to jazz it up a little bit, give it like a nice little frame around the edge that kind of matches the vibe of the design that Alexandra's going for. And I'm gonna show you how to do it at home. In order to make the frame, I need to have the TV in person. I can't just guess the measurements here, so I have to go to Sophie's place, pick up her TV, and bring it back to the workshop. Okay, so we just got to Sophie's place. The TV is still mounted on the wall, so we're gonna take the TV off the wall, we're gonna take it back to the workshop. If I did live here, I'd be making the frame to this TV like in person. There's just too many like little measurements involved. If I try to measure it here and then go back to the workshop and I come back to fit the frame and it doesn't fit, I'm just gonna take the TV off the wall and take it back to the workshop. Okay, nice. Thank you. Now that we have the TV in the workshop, Noel and I are gonna head to Valley Village to try to find a picture frame that kind of matches the aesthetic of this makeover. Okay, we're just on our way to the Valley Village, but I see a swing. Whose horn is that? Here, get on the other side of the teeter-totter. Do you think that's someone actually going off, like, on someone, or is that like a car malfunctioning? Look at wow, I haven't been on a swing in so long. How's it feel? It's liberating. It's a great way to like break your ankles by jumping off at the highest point. A Continental gator skin? That's a good tire. That's nice. That's very cool. That's very cool. A Continental gator skin? That's a good tire. Attention. Would Nolan Morency please come to the front desk? Calling Nolan Morency. Are you taking a photo or are you recording video? Recording. Oh. Take pictures. Wow. Could this be it? Just immediately? We need 35 interior, so it's wider than what we need. And then interior is 19 and nice. Painted white, I think this is perfect. Dad, is that you? Are you kidding me? Like, I feel like we have to get this.
We have to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is hilarious. But who's a Celine fan? I feel like James is gonna see this and just like lose his shit. Jason Spezza. Boo! Boo! Ooh, should we grab a heat gun? I feel like we should have one in the kit, no?
That'd be good. Yeah. No one really.
Vidal Sassoon. Pretty hot. Kind of smells weird. Pretty good. It's a Singer brand. It's a name brand. This is really big. This is what we want. This is definitely the vibe. So we found this frame in the back of the store, and it's way more in like the French style, like with the crown molding and like the fireplace and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with this larger one, and then we're gonna have to cut them down anyways, so it should be totally fine.
Yes!
Freaking did it. We did the thing. Nice. Okay, that was a huge success. We left the workshop, went to Sophie's. We grabbed her TV. With the TV, I did a quick little measurement, found out like the minimum frame size that I kind of needed. Then we jumped over to Valley Village. We looked at the picture frames. We found 2 awesome options and we picked one. And now we're gonna go back to the workshop and try to make this frame fit the TV. So success all around, really good, like lucked out big time. Usually when you go to the thrift store and you're looking for something specific, like you never find it because the beauty of the thrift store is like you always find stuff unexpectedly. So yeah, this is great. Very happy, very excited. All right, okay, so we're back at the workshop. We have this big print here and I just need the frame. So I'm gonna just remove the picture and the glass from the frame and put the frame aside because I'm only gonna be able to work on this probably on Thursday and it's Tuesday right now. I'm just gonna get rid of the stuff that I don't need in order to see what we're working with. I genuinely feel bad about disposing of this picture. Unfortunately, the picture's not my style, so I'm gonna recycle it. So next, I'm gonna disassemble the picture frame and I'm gonna cut it down to size so it fits the TV. Hi, okay, so it's the next day and we're back at the workshop. I have the frame here and I have the TV. I picked up this picture frame from Valley Village yesterday for $14, I think. And it's a beautiful, solid oak, I believe, gilded picture frame. It's beautiful. The Samsung frame TV costs like $2,000, and then the frame to put on the frame TV, even though it's called the frame TV, you have to buy the frame separately. That frame costs over $100. They are made out of plastic. They are very thin. The nice thing about it is that it's kind of magnetic and they all snap together and it makes installation really easy. But this is gonna give you something that's so like authentic and nice and beautiful. So let's get started. While the picture frame is all together, I am going to just use my router. I'm gonna bring the edges of that frame right up to the edge of the frame on the TV so that the screen is just kissing this frame. You don't really have to route the frame if you're doing this at home if you don't have a router. It's really not that important. It's just a nice little extra detail that I think makes a big difference. Wow, okay, that was a little challenging, but yeah, the results like speak for themselves. Like the frame fits just so nice and snugly around the black plastic frame that's already on the TV. It's not sitting over top of the screen at all. It's just like nice and snug, so you won't be able to see that black plastic bit at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start cutting down this frame. What I'm gonna try to do is, because this frame is already secured and 4 corners and it's already glued together, I'm gonna try to cut this frame into 2 pieces rather than into 4 pieces, and then I'll glue those 2 pieces together rather than trying to fiddle with gluing all 4 pieces together. I'm just gonna take this piece over to the miter saw, cut it diagonally, you know, create those 45-degree miter cuts. My tip for you guys doing this process is don't cut at the measurement, cut a little bit before the measurement so you have extra material that you can cut down with your miter saw so it's like the nice perfect fit. Another little tip for using the miter saw is that, like, you know, I'm measuring this frame around the TV and I need things to be like really, really precise. They don't need to be, it's just kind of in my nature that I have to make sure everything's pretty precise. When I'm making like a mark and I'm gonna be doing miter cuts, I'll make like a little arrow so that like the peak of the arrow is the exact point where the measurement is. And then if you're doing a miter cut, I always just kind of put like a little dash that's the direction of the miter. So I'm not messing up if it's gonna be mitered this way or this way. I'll just always have that little reference drawing. You can always erase it later or you put on like the offcut side so that you cut it away or whatever. I'm not even pissed right now. I literally just had that whole spiel about measuring and then putting the direction of the frickin' miter, and I cut the wrong direction miter. I don't know how I did it, but I did it, and I didn't cut all the way through, so I can still use the frame, but I'm a dummy. I had the lines here indicating the direction, but it's actually supposed to be in this direction. Didn't cut all the way through, so I can still keep going, and I'll just fill it with wood filler. It sucks. That was really stupid. I guess you want to see mistakes and stuff on this channel, but this one's a pretty bad one. Wow, it looks so good. It's really a nice fit, except for this freaking sliver in the corner. It's okay. I think I'm gonna glue it all together, and I'm just gonna cut like a little sliver from the scrap piece and just try to match the pattern and stuff and like glue it in place. Not much I can do. My brain has been a little bit scrambled today because I was riding my bike to work. As I was riding my bike to work, I was taking a corner and there was like this wet patch and my bike just fell out from underneath me as I was going pretty fast actually. And I like hurt my hand and like my wrist kind of hurts today. I'm totally fine. But I also got like, I got an ouchie on my elbow and my hip really hurts too. But I'm totally fine. It's just like scrapes and bruises. The worst part is, it wasn't just like a regular wet patch on the road. It was like the contents of the bottom of a garbage truck that had like spilled out. So my bike slipped out from under me. Before I even hit the cement, like I could smell this like rancid garbage truck smell. And then I just hit the ground and then I rolled around on the ground, just getting completely covered in garbage juice. And it was so revolting. Like this car pulled up and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And then I was like, "It's like an oil slick or something." And then he just goes like, like it's not an oil slick. And I looked down, it was just freaking garbage everywhere. So then I had to go home and like get changed and shower and then come back to work. It was like a really big ordeal and it really sucked. But yeah, so that's why I made mistakes, because my brain's just banged up a little bit today. So anyways, okay. I'm gonna glue this together and then I'm gonna keep going. To clamp everything together, I'm gonna use wood glue and a ratchet strap. This is just like a regular ratchet strap that you can get at the hardware store. They come in so handy for gluing up frames and stuff. But yeah, no, just going back to that story. I cannot stress enough how disgusting falling into a puddle of garbage juice was. Like I literally had like garbage all over me. Like it was disgusting. My bike was covered in garbage juice and my shoes, because I got up and then I was just like stomping around in the garbage juice and stuff. It was an interesting experience, that's for sure. I still can smell like the garbage juice like in my nose somehow. Like it's just kind of been haunting me all day. Okay, enough about the garbage juice, I'm sorry. But like look, it hurts. Like what if my hand gets infected and it like falls off from the garbage juice? It would not be good. So to do this, you kind of want to put your frame on a flat surface so that when you clamp it all together, you know that it's not going to be kind of wonky. And I'm going to apply like a nice liberal amount of wood glue to all surfaces. And I just have some scrap cardboard that I'm going to use for the corners just to protect the frame from the ratchet strap, because the ratchet strap gets really tight and it can rub, and I don't want this to get damaged. Okay, you just want to get it kind of hand tight with the ratchet strap before you start ratcheting. I'm just gonna get it like kind of tight, not really 100%. Gonna make sure like everything's lined up before really cranking it down. You can use a mallet just to try to flatten the pieces together. Make sure everything's lined up. Remember, these two joints, we don't even need to worry about. It's amazing. It's only these two that we need to line up. So your room for failure has already decreased by like 50%, which is awesome. If you just keep these two factory miters the same, then you only have 2 cuts to make. And then I already messed up one of my cuts. So my success rate right now is about 25%. So 50%, I don't know. So everything's looking pretty good. I have a damp cloth that you can wipe away the extra wood glue with. Right here I can see this isn't quite lined up 100%, so I'm just gonna... Nice, perfect. So you just have to tap it a little bit. Be careful, because it is really thin wood. You don't want to break anything. Okay, throw in the towel. I'm just gonna let this dry overnight. I'm gonna come in the morning, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna secure this to the TV. And I also have to fix that cut. That's a tomorrow problem. Hey, so it's Future Graham here, and look how proud Past Graham looks of this frame he made. Good job, buddy. Anyways, I wonder how long it's gonna take him to figure out his mic's not on. Yeah, there he goes. Yep, it's not on. There you go. Okay, well, anyways, I was just saying I was traumatized from the garbage juice and I had another shower, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the frame, boom. What I was just saying is that I'm just gonna like clean up the glue. I wasn't too worried about the wood glue when I was ratcheting it together, just because I'm gonna be painting this white and I was just gonna have to sand it down anyways, like scuff sand it. But for extra support, I'll probably just put like a staple or a little bracket on this joint here just to make it a little bit extra strong. You'll notice that like picture frames always have those little metal staple thingies there, and that's just for, I don't know, like humidity, things expand and contract. Miter joints aren't really like the strongest joint. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the TV. Ready? Ooh, wow. Beautiful. Still have to deal with this. Okay, it looks so good. Very, very proud of it. I just not messed up that one cut, but it's okay. I'm gonna let it go. But I'm gonna cut like a little sliver from the scrap piece of frame that we already have. And I'm gonna just try to fit it into this little sliver here. I'm gonna glue it all together. You could use wood glue, you could use painter's caulk or something just to fill in that crack. But just structurally, if I glue a little sliver in place, it will just hold everything together a lot better. And it will also just be a lot more seamless. Whatever little gap is left over, I'm just gonna put wood filler in there. But yeah, it's nice and glued in together now. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about that stupid mistake. I'm a moron, but whatever. No one's perfect, so we're gonna figure out how we can secure this to the TV without using glue or tape or magnets. Now I'm gonna make some brackets so that this picture frame stays on the TV and doesn't fall down. I'm making the brackets out of some scrap walnut I had, and I'm cutting a little notch in it using my table saw that's the exact same thickness as the TV screen. I'm measuring and cutting down these brackets using my miter saw into 3 identical pieces. And I'm securing them onto the back of the frame using some wood glue and some brad nails. For the 2 top brackets that are gonna swivel and attach the top of the frame to the TV, I'm just sanding the corners down using my tabletop belt sander so that the bracket can swivel without bumping into the TV frame. And lastly, I'm securing it in place with a screw and some washers and making sure that the screw is not too tight, preventing the bracket from swiveling properly. Next, we're priming the frame with some shellac primer and painting 3 coats of Cloud White by Benjamin Moore in a semi-gloss finish. Okay, now's the part of the video where I talk about what I learned, what I could do differently. Honestly, this frame was like perfect. I don't mean to like toot my own horn or anything, but I'm just like super happy with it. When you go to a thrift store and you're hoping to find something that like matches the vibe that you're going for, it oftentimes like never works out. But as soon as we went into Valley Village, we saw this like perfect frame that matched like the crown molding, it matched the molding on the fireplace. We just got so lucky, so cheap too. I think it was like under $15. The way it like clipped and snapped onto the TV with the brackets that come down, and it just makes it so it's completely like child-proof, earthquake-proof, etc. No permanent fasteners involved. I think this is a great method. If you can't make the brackets in a workshop like I did, I'm sure you can find a way to do it at home with something a little bit more approachable. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.